Happy National Rosé Day. Today we're drinking some rosé and we're going to be brewing some too. So follow along, I'll show you what I got. I made some sanitizer here with some Star San, and I mixed it together and I sanitized the brew bucket. I have the airlock, hydrometer, and a stirring paddle. It's really simple for the first day. And we're going to be brewing the Winexpert Rosé kit. And it came with this Grenache Rosé F pack is what they call it, but it's going to be used later. Today we're going to be using the bentonite. It's a clarifier. It's going to help clear out the wine during fermentation. And then these are other fining agents that we're going to use later too. Potassium metabisulfite, potassium sorbate, and then this fining agent, which I'm not going to try to pronounce. Alright, I heated up, I didn't boil it, but I just heated up about half a gallon of water. I'm going to pour it at the bottom of my sanitized fermenter. And it's warm, so it's going to help the bentonite kind of mix in. Then I'll open the bentonite right here. I'll mix it in, and I have my sanitized stir that I'll stir it with. You can kind of come in with that. It's made from clay, and it's supposed to help attach to the yeast particles during fermentation and help pull them to the bottom. So try to stir it in really well. Alright, now looks like we're ready for the next step, which is adding the juice from here. Okay, so if you there's a little nook in here you can slide the little hole of the sack into, which actually makes it a lot easier to pour. So that's what I did. I popped off the lid, and now we're gonna start pouring it in here slowly. Try not to splash it very much. Basically concentrated rosé grape juice. If you taste it, it tastes really sweet. So there's a bunch of sugars yet to ferment. Alright, the next step, I've heated up some water in the microwave. I'm going to put it in here, switch it around, try to get the last bits of this. Still some juice left in there. So I heated up the water in the microwave and I put it in there. It's like about 2 cups to help get all the extra sediment and extra the juice that was settled at the bottom. So it looks like I got it all. So I'm going to do one more pour. And we got most of that. The recipe calls for 6 gallons, and this is the 6-gallon mark right here. So, like I said, lowest ridge on the pail, 6 gallons. So make sure you measure that out on your pail beforehand. So the next step is just basically to top it up to the 6-gallon mark with spring water. It's important to use spring water, not distilled or not any other kind, but spring water is usually the best for brewing and for winemaking. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And it's nap time, so baby's not happy. Looks about 6 gallons. Maybe do the rest of that. Looks good. Smells really sweet. Alright, the next step is to get a hydrometer and take a gravity reading. Next step is to take a hydrometer reading to test the gravity. So it says that it needs to be between 1.08 and 1.1. So we'll see how close we are. And always when you're testing getting a gravity reading, give it a little spin in case there's any bubbles under there. Looks like it's exactly 1.080, which is right, this mark right here. The yeast that this kit comes with is 71B1122. I don't think I've ever used this yeast before, but basically you just sprinkle it on the top, and it's pretty simple. The yeast will start, it'll start eating the sugars in here, and it burps out alcohol. Or spits out alcohol. So that's how alcohol is made. The yeast eats the sugar and kind of spits out the alcohol. So over the next 24 to 48 hours, they'll start being released. It'll release CO2, which we'll see through the airlock, which I'm about to put on. But stirring isn't necessary. I should have taken that out beforehand, actually. So I already made my first mistake, but it's not a big mistake. For the airlock, you fill it up to the fill line with some sanitized water or sanitized solution. Put that on, and that. Close the lid. Put this in the little airlock. And then within 12 to 24 hours, we'll start seeing some bubbles right here, which means the fermentation is kicked off. So we'll circle back whenever we're on to the next step, which will be 7 to 10 days, according to the directions. I'm going to put this in a cool, dark place. It's supposed to ferment between 72 and 75 degrees. But realistically, this is probably going to ferment about 69 degrees, since that's what our house is. So it'll take a little bit longer, but we'll still get the same result.